Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Driftless Cards and Games. My name's Logan, and I'm glad to have you for a video today. Have you ever been stuck by analysis paralysis when trying to decide to pull the trigger on picking up a collection or going to take a look at a sealed lot that you might be interested in? Today, I'm going to talk to you about 7 things that I find to be some of the most important factors for consideration when I'm deciding whether to make a play and pick up typically a sealed Pokemon investment or some kind of a sealed product quantity for sale online. So, as I mentioned, when it comes to the factors that are most important to me, there are kind of 7 categories that I like to run myself through. Overall, though, if you're going to bail from the video early, everything boils down to condition plus the product plus the price equals the profit. Those are the top 3 criteria are the condition, the product, the price. So the very first thing that I like to take into account above all else is the authentication and the provenance of what it is. You definitely don't want to waste your time or waste your money picking up something if it isn't legitimate. And for some people, this doesn't even need to be said. The longer that you're in the hobby, the more closely connected you are to the business, the easier it is for you to tell if something is legitimate or not. There's a lot of good resources out there to determine, what is a real booster box, what does a fake booster box look like. But a lot of it kind of comes down to as well, just kind of the gut check, the vibe check. How good of a deal is it? Is it too good to be true? Is it coming from somebody who is a little bit sketchy and shady, or does it have, a decent story to it that, it's somebody that's looking to, liquidate part of their sealed collection and you're looking to pick it up, it really depends on where it's coming from, that provenance of it, as well as the overall authentication. If it's singles in a binder, pull a few out and check them. Pull out the high ticket ones and check those for sure. The second thing is really overall just what is the product desirability? Is it something that is, extremely desirable? Sets, Evolving Skies, the Fusion Strikes. What are the chase cards of a particular set? If it's a lesser set, a Steam Siege, say, there might be some desirability, sure, for people who want to complete, an entire sealed collection or, pure master set collectors, but it's definitely not going to be as liquid or move as fast as something that's maybe a little bit more desirable. Or if it was a set that was overly printed versus underprinted, that just overall product quality and desirability check is kind of the next thing that I jump to once I've determined that it's authentic, to start my evaluation for, is this even something that I want to buy at any price, really? And that said, the third thing that I look at if I determine that it's something that I might want to buy is really just evaluating what condition is it in. Because if it's, for instance, let's say a sealed booster box of Destined Rivals, well, sure, that is an authentic product and that is a high quality and a desirable product. But if the seller is claiming that that booster box is sealed, but you're able to see in the photos that there's big tears and the Pokeballs on the logo are all scuffed away, and it would pose a problem for future authentication, or it would be more hassle than it's worth, especially at the price that they're asking. That condition plays a very important factor. And part of that as well, just as a side note for number 3 here, is kind of the storage history of it. If it's, shown in photos in a really dirty, dingy environment and it's all torn up, and you want something that's been moderately well taken care of, especially if you're going to be reselling this or holding on to this with the intention of it going up in price. A fourth factor to consider is the liquidity of what it is that you're buying. And this kind of ties in to the overall product quality, but there are still some products that are of high quality that are pretty illiquid. Liquidity, if you're not familiar, is just simply how quickly, how easily, and efficiently can you convert this product back into cash if you needed to. For instance, if it's a stock that you purchased on Robinhood or E-Trade, you can click a button and sell that immediately. That's extremely liquid, almost near cash. Whereas something like real estate, extremely illiquid. Yes, you could sell it if you needed to, but it's going to take the better part of a month or two at best under most circumstances. So thinking about the liquidity and your exit strategy for the product is also important, because as I was saying before, if you're picking up, maybe some, let's say, collection boxes, some very niche collection boxes, or some very old tins, like an original ruby and sapphire era tin, that can be worth a lot of money. Condition is obviously very important, but even if you have all the right factors, I would not plan on selling that quickly for any kind of comparable price. Otherwise, you might end up coming off as a scam yourself. So something of that liquidity concern is definitely something to bear in mind. And that leads into the next point number 5, of what is the opportunity cost of picking up this sealed bundle or this collection. The opportunity cost as well as the capital efficiency at play. And what I mean by that is, if I were to spend $1,000 and buy some sealed product, what is that $1,000 now not able to go do? I can't pay my own bills with that money. It's tied up. I can't invest it into a better opportunity if one comes along. Let's say what you're evaluating is so far squaring up to be so-so, but it would tie up a lot of money for a long time. That might not be the most efficient use of your business capital or of your investment dollars, your collection dollars. You might rather try to get more bang for your buck someplace else. It's okay to pass on a mediocre deal. It's okay even to pass on a good deal if it's not the right size for you. It really depends what your objective is, what's your risk tolerance, how long are you okay sitting on something, or would you be okay if you had to sell it and break even, or sell it at a small loss just to liquidate your money out of it again. That said, the 6th thing that I consider is overall in the basket that I'm considering picking up, what is the mix of what's there, and how does that fit into my overall sealed collection or my overall investment portfolio? What I mean by that is, let's say you've invested very heavily into Sword and Shield, but really neglected a lot of Scarlet and Violet, or vice versa, and you're looking to pick up more of the same. Again, it could have ticked every box so far. A desirable set, good condition, good authentication, good value as far as opportunity cost goes. But if you're further deepening a position, it kind of comes at the sake of what? What is the product mix? What is the concentration, the depth of what you're going to be adding to your investment portfolio? Or, if you're trying to purely resell this and flip it online, maybe it doesn't matter quite as much. If you're having luck with a particular era, or you're able to buy it at a screaming deal, that might take the cake. But if it's something you're looking to buy and hold or diversify your risk a little bit, it's definitely something to keep in mind where you currently have money parked already, and at what entry point, and how are you prepared to incorporate this into your sealed buy and hold portfolio, if you will. That said, the very last thing, and I saved this for last, and I've kind of alluded to it a couple times, but really the granddaddy of all factors is the price. Now, certainly it could be a poor condition product of a less than desirable set But if the price is right, it might still make sense. Or conversely, if all the factors align and it's extremely desirable and it's in minty condition, but you know that you're prepared to list it and sell it and you have a buyer lined up tomorrow, where you're effectively just kind of brokering as a middleman in a sale and taking a percentage there, neither of those are bad plays at both end of the spectrum. But really overall assessing what that pricing framework looks like for you. I know a lot of buyers or resellers like to come in maybe at 75% of market price or somewhere in that ballpark. That gives enough room for platform fees. That gives enough room for some taxes, things of that nature. But then again, you never really know what deal is going to present itself to you. So if you have the opportunity to pick up, a good lot, but you've got to take some theme decks along with some more, desirable ETBs, maybe that gives you a little bit more leverage to drive down that total pricing framework percent of market to say, you know what, I'd be happy to take it all. I'd be happy to take it all off your hands, but know that I'm picking up some product that's less desirable along with some that's more desirable. So I want to be a little bit further under market pricing to give myself some room to absorb some of that. So overall, as I mentioned at the start of the video, the product, the price, and the condition really determine pretty much everything as far as what you can scoop up, what you should be scooping up, and how it fits into your overall portfolio. So that said, this is going to be followed up. I've got a second part video coming out in a day or so. I'm going to be picking up a pretty large collection by myself, about $10,000 collection that I've been working to negotiate for a good price, and I think I have. And as long as I'm able to meet up with this individual and it meets all of my criteria and it checks all the boxes for condition and everything else that we've been talking about that I don't know right now because I've already assessed a lot of the factors, I will definitely be taking you along with me on that journey as I kind of assess what it is that I'm picking up and how it fits into my investment portfolio and my online resale business. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe and I would love to share that journey. Otherwise, I'd love to bring you some additional content. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if you wouldn't mind. Let me know what other types of videos you'd like to see. I'm glad to have you along on this journey, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.